How's it going, everyone? Justin Smith, the Director of Recruiting for Touchdown Alabama. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on our YouTube channel. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Be notified when we drop content on our YouTube channel. Today, I'm here to provide a breaking recruiting news update. That's Crimson Tide just picked up a verbal commitment from 6'7", four-star offensive lineman Jackson Lloyd out of California. He becomes the Crimson Tide 17th commit in the 2025 recruiting class, the third offensive lineman players joining Mal Waldrop and Michael Carroll. When you look at Lloyd, I think this is a massive get for Alabama because of his size, rated as one of the top offensive linemen in the country, along with the way that he plays. When you watch his film, he immediately stands out because he's 6'7" and 290 pounds. And he carries that 290 pounds really well when you take a look at his pictures and when you take a look at his film. It seems as if he's more of a slim 6'7" prospect at 290 pounds. So that's one of the things that immediately stands out when you turn on his film. And then you find out that this kid is actually a three-sport athlete. He plays basketball, he plays baseball, and he plays football. So if you got a tackle who's a multi-sport athlete, I think that is always a good sign if you're evaluating and trying to recruit that prospect. And you see that athleticism when you see him play offensive tackle, when he's blocking in space. He's the guy who can get up to the second level, blocking space, whether it's on the screens, whether it's a play where he's called to get in the secondary and continue to block up the field. I think that is something that you see throughout his film. You see him driving his feet once he locks on to defensive linemen as he basically pushes them all the way out of the play sometimes. So he's a guy who consistently is looking to work throughout the play. I think he's a guy who works until the whistle is blown, basically plays through the whistle, so to say. So he's a guy, I think he brings that type of nastiness. I think he flashes that type of nastiness to go along with the athleticism that he brings to the table. And he flashes that athleticism when he lines up on the defensive side of football. You're going to see him do that when you watch this film on right now. You're going to see at times he's going to be at defensive tackle. And you see kind of a quick twitch, a quick explosion out of his stance for a 6'7", 290-pound guy. It's really, really impressive. And I think that quick twitch, that agility, that flash of nastiness, his ability to block in space, and his ability and his willingness to just keep driving his feet throughout the play, those are all great things that Jackson Lloyd brings to the table. Like I said, rated as a four-star recruit, considered one of the top offensive linemen in this 2025 recruiting class overall. And I think the Tide are getting a nice one here in this 2025 recruiting cycle. And Alabama's offensive line class is starting to take shape now that you got Waldrop, now that you got Carroll, and now that you have Lloyd. Of course, they're going to continue to recruit several different offensive linemen. Ty Haywood is going to come to mind. That is a name you're going to hear a lot when it comes to the Crimson Tide out of Texas. You also are going to hear Michael DeBose, I feel, like the four-star offensive lineman out of Iger High School. The Crimson Tide have continued to recruit. The new staff have continued to recruit the moment that they got hired at Alabama. And similar to Lloyd, he's one of those guys who I think I've talked about when breaking down these breaking news recruiting videos, is that a lot of these guys who are committed to the Crimson Tide, Alabama's coaching staff locked in on these guys early on, like whether it was like mid-January or early February. A lot of these guys are prospects who Alabama's new staff immediately came in and said, yo, we need this kid, we need that kid. And I think Jackson Lloyd was one of those guys who they immediately saw as a guy who they wanted to add to their program once they got to Tuscaloosa, offering him on January 15th, being among those first offers that they pushed out. So I think Lloyd is committed to the Tide for that reason, because of the success I feel like Alabama has had, of course, because of what Kalen DeBoer brings in terms of what he could possibly do in Tuscaloosa. But I just think when you have recruited a guy in that short period of time with that type of intensity, I think it's starting to pay off for the Crimson Tide on the recruiting trail when you take a look at that coaching staff. But that is the update I wanted to provide you guys with. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on our YouTube channel. Before you leave, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Subscribers, hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we drop content on the YouTube channel. As always, I am Justin Smith, the Director of Recruiting for Touchdown Alabama.